Hello and welcome to another episode of the Economic Huddle. I am your host, Nino Garofola. I'm an economist with Garofola Analytics. Today is Friday, December 15th, and we're going to be running down the top 3 economic news items for this week. First this week is the increase in the federal funds rate. On Wednesday, the Federal Reserve increased their benchmark federal funds rate 0.25% to be between 1.25% and 1.5%. It was interesting seeing the reaction to this, as markets and interest rates were largely unchanged and had a seemingly business as usual feel to it. It was actually really good to see this type of reaction, as economic growth is finally starting to look normal after a very unusual 10-year period. Now, obviously, things were pretty wild during the recession, but since the recovery started, economic growth seemed like it was being pushed along instead of being generated internally and by internal forces. So returning to normal Fed practices and having a normal interest rate environment is a positive sign that there is finally a healthy economy out there. And it's a healthy sign for confident investors as well. So as far as how this will affect mortgage rates, we don't see things changing much immediately, but we do expect a slow but steady increase past the 4% mark on a conventional 30-year mortgage into the first quarter. Second on our list today is oil prices. On Wednesday, the Wall Street Journal reported that international oil inventories have hit a 2-year low, sending oil prices to a 2.5-year high. Now, obviously, this is bad news for lower-income consumers, as gas and energy prices will negatively impact their disposable income. But on the other hand, it's good for those who work in the industry, as production, demand, and ultimately profits should increase in the wake of this news. And finally, on our list is retail sales. Yesterday, retail sales numbers for November were released, and they showed an extremely positive 0.8% increase over October's numbers. Now, this is a great sign for retail stores, and especially going into the Christmas shopping season. It is estimated that this will continue and ultimately be an increase this season of anywhere from a 4% to a 5% increase over last year's numbers, which would be a great ending to a year that has shown steady economic improvement. That's it for this week. I am Nino Garofola. Thanks for stopping in for another Economic Huddle. Join us next week.